Hey, so Apple just dropped some seriously big news at WWDC, and if you're someone who's constantly chasing your friends down for money after dinner or a group vacation, you're going to want to hear this. Apple has officially announced a native bill-splitting feature coming to the iPhone, and honestly, this could change the way millions of people handle shared expenses every single day. We're talking about Apple taking direct aim at some of the most popular money apps out there right now, specifically Venmo and Splitwise, by baking this functionality right into the iPhone itself. No separate app download, no creating another account, no explaining to your one friend who still doesn't have Venmo why they need to get Venmo. Apple is just handling it natively. So let's break down what this actually means. For years, splitting bills has been a bit of a fragmented experience on smartphones. You'd have to jump between your calculator, your contacts, maybe a notes app, and then finally open up a third-party app to actually send or request money. Apps like Splitwise became enormously popular because they solved a real problem. They let you track who owes what across multiple expenses, whether it's rent, groceries, a road trip, or that one dinner where someone mysteriously ordered 3 cocktails and then conveniently forgot. And Venmo, owned by PayPal, built an entire social ecosystem around sending and receiving money quickly. These are not small players. Venmo alone processes hundreds of billions of dollars in transactions annually. But here's the thing about Apple: when they decide to build something natively into iOS, they have an enormous advantage that third-party apps simply cannot match. We're talking about seamless integration with Apple Pay, iMessage, your contacts, and potentially even Siri. Imagine finishing a meal, pulling up your iMessage group chat with your friends, and splitting the bill right there in the conversation without ever leaving the app. That kind of frictionless experience is exactly what Apple does better than almost anyone else. And this announcement came at WWDC, which is Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference, their big annual showcase where they reveal the future of their operating systems and software ecosystem. The fact that they chose this stage to announce a bill-splitting feature tells you something important. This isn't some minor update buried in a settings menu. Apple is treating this as a headline feature, which means they're serious about owning this space. Now, what does this mean for Venmo and Splitwise? Look, it's not necessarily a death sentence for either of them overnight. Splitwise has a really dedicated user base, and it offers some pretty sophisticated expense tracking tools, especially for longer-term shared expenses like apartment bills or travel budgets. And Venmo has that social feed aspect which some people genuinely love, even though plenty of us find it a little weird that our financial transactions have a comment section. But history has shown us that when Apple builds something native, adoption happens fast and third-party competitors feel the squeeze. We saw it with podcast apps, we saw it with flashlight apps, we saw it with screen time management tools. Apple enters the space and the market shifts. What's also interesting here is the timing. Apple has been steadily expanding its financial services footprint with Apple Pay, Apple Card, and Apple Pay Later. A native bill-splitting feature fits perfectly into that broader strategy of making the iPhone your financial hub, not just your communication device or your entertainment device. So whether you're splitting a brunch bill with 3 friends or managing a month-long group trip across Europe, Apple wants to be the tool you reach for, not Venmo, not Splitwise, not a calculator and a text message. And really, the bigger question isn't whether Apple can compete with these apps. The question is, can these apps compete with your iPhone's default features?